Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back again with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video. Let's talk about this recent leak that was circulating around the internet, especially on Twitter yesterday. This kind of just happened out of nowhere, and the original video, which we're going to watch it, we're going to kind of break it down and see what's going on with it, right? Why this is most likely false. I'm pretty confident that this is, just one of those fake leaks that happen. Okay, this isn't the first time this has happened. This isn't going to be the last time this is going to happen. Anytime a brand new game comes out that's highly anticipated, there are always going to be certain characters, especially for a fighting game like this, where they're going to leak things or create things that are fake and try to convince people that it's real, just for getting a kick out of it, okay? People do this all the time just to get a laugh or whatever it may be. I personally don't think it's a big deal or anything. I do think that there are people out there that, get really upset about this or mad about this, and it's totally understandable. But we're just making this video to talk about it, discuss it, because, this is kind of it was a big deal yesterday, okay? So I made the joke on Twitter, how the fuck Sparking Zero already got mods and the game ain't even out yet? Now, I wasn't being dead serious about that. Obviously, I don't even know if this is a mod. I can't really sit here and tell you exactly how this was done just because it's very, very convincing. I will say whoever did this leak or whoever created this or whatever, they did a damn good job, and they knew exactly how to make it feel extremely realistic, just by the sound effects in the background, how the model looks when it transitions, how smooth and clean it is. Like I said, we'll watch the original video in just a second here. So this is the video in question, okay? This comes from the user Fig. I'm not going to read the whole name just because sometimes, it could be something offensive. I don't know. I don't want to read it just in case, okay? But I'm just going to call him Fig, okay? I went to their channel, and this is the only video that they uploaded. So that's already a red flag right there, okay? Somebody that, this could be like a burner account or like a fake account that they made, who knows, right? But it is interesting that this account was actually created 2 years ago, okay? A lot of the time when these fake leaks happen, it's usually an account that was just recently made, and sometimes they don't think about this, but maybe they thought this through, okay? But the fact that this is the only video this person has on the channel is kind of already, it's a yikes, okay? That's strike one, right? That's strike one, okay? If this was a channel that was consistently uploading or had other uploads from, the past or whatever, and then this just kind of randomly came through, it'd be a little bit more convincing, but that's the first sign there. So let's watch it. Okay, let's actually watch the video. You got Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, then it goes to God Vegeta, which is kind of weird why it's out of order there. And then it goes back to Blue Vegeta. And then you have Ultra Ego, okay? Now it's already looking a little bit weird, and then it transitions over to Z-End Vegeta. And then it goes to Majin Vegeta. So just showing, I guess, like all the Vegetas, trying to make it look convincing, and then it goes back to DB Super Vegeta. So, a little bit weird, kind of going out of order with things, moving around in a weird way. Why does it go back? Like, why does it start with Super Saiyan Vegeta, then it goes to Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta? You know what I mean? That's kind of weird. And then it goes to God Vegeta, and then back to Blue Vegeta. Like, it's weird. The way that they did this is a little bit odd, okay? And then when we get to Ultra Ego, the way everything just, how it transitions to the next character, the way it smears is a little bit weird. Okay, and one of the biggest things that people have pointed out, first of all, no earring. Okay, now that could just be an accessory. Let's say, for example, let's just play into the authenticity of this. Is this real? Let's say it's real. Okay, it could be an accessory, right? For the God of Destruction, the little gold earring that he's got. So that's missing. Also, what's going on with the shading on the forehead? I know he has the no eyebrows, the muscle brow look or whatever. Okay, that's part of the Ultra Ego. But what's going on with that darker shade just in the center at the top? None of the other versions of Vegeta have that. In terms of, DB Super Vegeta. Here's Super Saiyan Blue, doesn't have it. God Vegeta, doesn't have it. Super Saiyan Vegeta also does not have it. So it's a little bit weird, okay? I will say, I do appreciate, like I said, that they did the brow, okay? They also have that little cheekbone addition there, which is interesting. And then the shading on the left side of the face, you know, not too bad. Looks a little bit off, but it's mainly that shading in the center there, okay? Another thing, his hair is a very light purple, almost like a pink. It's more like magenta in a way. Now, that's kind of odd because, and again, it could just be like the lighting or whatever. This was recorded with their camera. Guys, bad shaky cam videos already. Yikes, that's another strike, okay? With all the other things that we're bringing up that we're calling out, okay? Now look at what Ultra Ego Vegeta, this is an official colored manga page. Look at what he looks like here compared to the video, okay? Look at this. I don't know about that. Again, it could just be the lighting. You know, I'm not gonna get too critical or anal about it, but it's just interesting that like it could have been a darker shade of purple to be more accurate. If this was real, I would be kind of disappointed because they didn't get it super accurate, right? And not only that, but another little thing, and this is kind of, I don't want to say nitpick, but another thing about it. You see how the back of Vegeta's hair at the very bottom, it has that strand that is a little bit longer and it kind of, you know, sticks out more with the hair on the back. This Vegeta doesn't have that. This is literally just either blue or God Vegeta, okay? And then they just changed the hair color and then they've fucked with the face a little bit. There are some notable, you know, differences here when it comes to Vegeta's Ultra Ego, this form, whenever it comes to like the back of the hair. You know, it's not exactly the same as like normal Vegeta's hair. Now again, that could be a little bit of a nitpick. I don't know if that's something that has, you know, been like a consistent thing across every single manga panel with Vegeta. I can't tell you if that's, you know, something intentional that Toyotaro did, but that's how I feel they were going for it, at least when Toyotaro was doing the art for it or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, you know, whenever this eventually gets animated, if that's the case. But you guys know how it is with Dragon Ball. There's always inconsistent designs at times, but that's just like a little thing. That's not even like the major thing. But yeah, it's looking a little bit weird, but it's also, again, it's very convincing. Now the description, somebody pointed this out. This is hilarious. Call it fake if you want. Seethe and cope like your favorite clickbaiting YouTuber. I think he's talking about me. Who's mad they didn't get this exclusive footage before me. Well, I can tell you right now, whether you're directed towards me or any other content creator out there that has been covering Sparking Zero, I can assure you nobody is mad. I actually gotta give you props, whoever, if this fig person made it or whatever. I think this stuff is very cool, okay? In terms of like how it's interesting. Like, it's like, wow, like you went through this much effort. Okay, this person, whoever did this wasn't something like, oh, I'm just fucking with you guys, you know, maybe it could be, but they put in a lot of effort. Like, I'm gonna give you props for this. Like, damn good job on this, okay? I'm not a big fan of you know, trying to say this is real, right? But again, when you say that, a lot of people can call it out and point out that this isn't real, okay? But it's just interesting, right? Like all this happened. So shout out to Rex Art because they were on Twitter. A lot of people, a lot of artists, okay, which is good. You want criticism from the artists out there, people who are really good, you know, that do Dragon Ball art and everything. Watching the video, I just don't get how this was made. Even if it was drawn over, it looks so real. But like, not in a, they actually added Ultra Ego way, but in that they made it like a mod, okay? And again, the mod thing is being brought up a lot. I was joking about it initially, but it's not too crazy. Just because this game's almost out, copies are most likely starting to get ready to be shipped. Who knows? Who knows who has gotten their hands on a copy of it? There could be a few people, a few mofos out there that got it. And maybe some people had the PC version of it. Now that's a little bit different, okay? That's harder to believe just because the PC version is a digital version. As far as I know, I don't think you can get a PC version that's a disc version. Do they even do that anymore? I remember the last time I got that, it was like Skyrim or something like that. That was like the last time I owned a physical PC version disc, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that's a little bit harder to believe. Now, if this was on console, that's even more difficult to believe. And even then, it's like, that's fast, right? I think modders could crack the code pretty quickly, but like, damn, that would be really, really fast. So again, I can't exactly tell you if this is a mod or what. It looks more to be like it would be a mod, just because again, everything's so smooth. Like if we go into, I want to go frame by frame with it, and let's just try to analyze it real quick. All right, so I'm going to go frame by frame whenever he's kind of coming in, and look at how good that looks. You know, you compare it to Blue Vegeta, how he comes in, and it's so immaculate. Like there is a lot of motion blur on the character select screen, and you compare it to this one, and it's like, it's so good, okay, in terms of that. Now this part right here where his arm, you can see there's almost like a ghosting effect, which is a little bit weird, okay? But again, the shading on that forehead, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not, you know, that makes it less convincing. All right? So going frame by frame here. There's another thing that I kind of found interesting, and it's probably hard for you guys to see this, but it's almost like his glove, okay, on his left hand, his left arm. It has a transparency effect. Like you can see through it a little bit, okay? And you can kind of see like a little bit of his finger kind of going through on that. And it's like, would that be clipping necessarily? Did the other Vegeta have it? Let's see. I don't think it did. Yeah, he did. So that's the thing. You have to compare another version of Vegeta to him. So it's got that weird ghosting effect. You know, that's a little bit weird there. And then whenever it transitions to the next character, this shit looks odd. Again, it could be just like the motion blur, but like the shading gets really, and it's like mainly on his face that it's getting fucked up. I don't know, man. It's just, like there are things about it. It's hard to explain, but there are just things about it whenever you're seeing it in motion, in frame by frame, that makes it very, very, like a little bit less convincing. Okay. And somebody did bring this up. Let me switch over. So somebody brought this up. Shoutouts to Based Lucas. Okay, they said, I'm guessing they took this video, edited it, filmed their screen with a phone, and added crowd sounds. Okay. So if I didn't already point that out in the actual video, if you listen. So I've heard that audio almost, you know, like second for second. I've heard that audio before in another video where people were recording gameplay with their phone or like with their camera, and it's like an event. They're trying to make it seem really real, like, oh, if this was a leak at the event and I had this, you know, early version, or I was able to get access to it. And then you can hear the Bandai Namco, you know, at the end of every Bandai Namco like trailer or like video, goes doo, 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 like that, you know, that little sound effect, and it has like the Bandai Namco logo. You can hear the sound effects like it's like the demo. This is all coming from, I think, like the demo footage or the demo gameplay at like certain events, okay? Because you can hear, I think it's like a female character. I don't know if it's Videl or who it is exactly, but there's a female character fighting, I think. Yeah, you can hear those crowd sound effects and everything. Crowd, but like, you know, people in the background talking, you know, you got that, like, all the, again, they try to make it really, really convincing with that, okay? And the video in question that they're talking about comes from Muzaru, so shout outs to them. And it comes it's, I know, you know, most people, they played, you know, they showed the gameplay and they showed all the characters or whatever, but it's specifically on this stage from the Supreme Kai, you know, stage or whatever. Supreme Kai? Yeah, the Kai planet. So there's that there. Again, they also did not show the name. All you can see is VE there, and that's it. So if they showed the name, maybe it would be a little bit more convincing. But like this right here, come on, y'all. Like, come on. Okay, the colors are a little bit weird. You know, it's cam footage. They're recording it. You can see on a Samsung TV. So they could, again, very easy edit. Like I could do a leak like this. Okay. in terms of like the overall aesthetics of the cam footage and all that stuff. Now, when it comes to the actual like model and like how they did all that, that gets a little bit weird and all that. But they could have easily edited it. Again, the switching between these characters, like it starts at Super Saiyan, then jumps to blue, then goes to back to God, then goes to blue again. Very weird way of, you know, organizing this. So I also brought up, okay, because this has happened before. Like I said, this has happened before. I said, be very careful with this kind of stuff, y'all. Something like this happened in the Smash Bros. Community many years ago, had everyone convinced, including myself, that Rayman was coming, but it was actually a fake created by a very, very talented VFX guy who put a lot of effort into it. Some people are just that crazy. Now, if you guys don't remember this, some guy, his name was Artsy Omni. This dude went into Photoshop and I think After Effects or Premiere or something like that, and he edited frame for frame, okay? He created his own model and everything in terms of the render, and he had the character select screen go through and go on top of Rayman, okay? And it made it look so real, but he spent like probably hours, maybe even days. He showed a video how he made the leak. And at that point in time, I said, this shit is insane. Anybody can do this as long as they put in the work and, you know, they have the knowledge on how to do all this stuff, okay? And this could be a similar situation. It's coming from a channel that is, you know, has one video. Again, they do this to get a kick out of the community and people, right? So somebody else said here, Zeddy also said that Smash Ultimate had experienced the same things. People had managed to mod the game before its release, which I think that I do recall something like that happening. So, you know, that if it is a mod, it could be a mod. Like, there are so many things pointing towards it being fake than it being real, right? So Ayub kind of talked about that. He's like, this video is 100% fake. Vegeta doesn't have the earrings. You can hear the sound of the gathering in a trailer. Yeah, all that in the background. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is an actual interview talking about manga characters from Jun Furutani himself. So this comes from that IGN interview that we talked about a couple of days ago. This is from the interviewer. I know it's thinking maybe too far ahead, but I just want to get your thought on it. But there's a lot of cool characters in the Dragon Ball Super manga right now that I think a lot of fans would love to see. I agree. I think a lot of fans would love to see it as well. Like Granola or Moro. Are those characters that are on your radar, or would you like to touch upon characters in the manga that haven't gotten to appear in the anime yet? Furutani says, at this point, the short answer is, it's difficult for him to talk about these things. Yeah, due to various situations, I'm sure you understand. Sure. So talk to me about the stages, about Sparking Zero, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and we already went over that. By the way, if you guys didn't know, there are only 12 stages in the game. Just wanted to bring that up because it was, you know, followed up. But as I was saying, yeah, they can't talk about that stuff. It's very difficult. I mean, they could talk about it, but he doesn't want to go into it because we already know. Okay, we've already talked about this like 4 or 5 times in the past. They gotta have a good relationship with Shueisha. Things gotta line up in terms of having preparations made for the manga to anime adaptation. Right now, Dragon Ball Daima is on the way. Not out yet. Not even out yet. That's their focus, okay? Manga shit for Dragon Ball Super, the next arc, and the next arc would be Moro Saga, so even then, it's like Ultra Ego. That's after the Moro Saga. That's the Granola arc, okay? So that's even like more crazy about it. But we did talk about this, and I would say, okay, if I'm gonna say, if they would include any manga character or form or whatever in a video game, Ultra Ego would technically have the best chance just because they got a voice actor already lined up. The design is, you know, all there and everything, but I think it would just be really weird and kind of dumb if they just dropped it like out of nowhere. Like it's just odd. Okay, too much about this is weird, and yeah, I just don't think it's happening anytime soon. If they had already announced that the Dragon Ball Super, you know, anime was coming back, okay, maybe they haven't shown anything on it. They just at least announced like, hey, Dragon Ball Super is coming back. You know, things are being set in motion. I could believe it a little bit more. But the fact that there's been no mention about it and we have a completely different anime that's coming on the way, that's how, you know, it would make sense to me. But again, this person, whoever did this, you know, they're going to try their best, do everything that they can to make this real and convincing. It happens all the time, right? Let me know down in the comments, what have been some other crazy leaks that were fake that were very, very convincing for y'all? I think the Smash Bros. Rayman thing was probably the closest, and this could be a similar case. Again, I can't exactly tell you 100% how this was done or what this is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's fake. But you guys can comment down below. Let's get a discussion going. I like to hear what you guys have to say about it. This video was way longer than it needed to be, but I did want to break it down to everything and talk about it just because we're Detective Slow out here. All right, peace out.
This is Broly, and you are watching Slow Plays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.